Good afternoon, and welcome to a matchup between Kingdahl and Thilotilo in the 1 and 0 record group of Swiss Week 2. I'm Furious K alongside Smile Fires with 2% Chungus behind the scenes tracking for us. The age old question, where will they start?
Well, we've got our answer. It's 1Q5 with a recorder. Happy Friday to everybody as well.
Yeah, well, sometimes a useless item. No surprise here.
It's not very useful for checking this power bracelet spot right below 1Q5, but maybe back for that later.
Jokes aside, that makes leaving dungeons and coming back to them a real thing that you can do. Just pick up a Triforce. If you don't see anything that you like early on, like you see Wiz Robes or something, you just bail with the Triforce, come back later. So, it is very useful. Just wish they got something else because it makes it a little bit less interesting, that's all.
Yeah, it does change the complexion a little bit, I think, like, in the total amount of seeds that you've played. Like, you know, sometimes you get a recorder and you can do that, sometimes you don't. Got Dark Notes on the Overworld, looks like.
Well, that's one. Let's see if we get the other. I don't think we will. Tektites are up top, so that's one less of the minor enemies that can roll down in there. Gibdos instead are the other minor that have rolled up, so I mean, it's not the worst.
Yeah, hopefully they don't get in our way too bad.
I mean, we can always dream that eventually, once again, we can have the P-Hats roll to the dungeons. Oh, there's ropes as well. Super ropes, so second quest somewhere.
Oh boy. Alright, Kingdahl's found a first take any cave and picked up a blue candle.
In before red candle is one screen to the left as the Argos item.
It's early enough that you could take the heart, I think. Meanwhile, Thilotilo is using that recorder to work on some recorder spots in the desert. As Kingdahl finds the Annie roads, got one that takes us off Death Mountain.
Dude.
Oh boy, bottom left. And keys for 94, meat for 95 when we have some second quest known involved. So, potentially could need meat somewhere.
Well, always fun as well to get the any road adds vanilla location, so you have to block clip your way back in.
And then you go one screen to the right.
So yeah, pretty much close enough to being useless, I think, actually.
Yeah, really not great. You can get on Death Mountain, you can get off. That's about what we're good for.
I mean, the one thing it does eliminate is the open cave in the southwest, and I mean, you still have to go down there and check the bomb spot eventually, perhaps, but it probably decentivizes that.
Thilotilo has finally rustled up some bombs. Oh, as Kingdahl finds a bomb shop, 5 rupees for 4 bombs, not too bad.
If Thilotilo gets enough rupees, that candle price isn't too bad. It is not second quest front half, so that's definitely back half.
Well, okay, so we've got spirals coming later. Fairly pricey hints, both all in the 40s in that shop. Silver arrows in a staircase in level 3. Okay.
I suspect we could probably bomb left in that entry room. I'm going to take the wild guess, especially with this room, that it's first quest front, second quest back.
Yeah, the way it looks now, it just makes too much sense.
And my guess is Kingdahl probably is under the same impression. It just keeps getting easier to see that shape.
Meanwhile, Thilotilo is still carving up the overworld, found the letter, trying to get more bombs from Blue Octoroks.
Yep, also going to find the Armos item here momentarily, assuming Octoroks or something else doesn't get him. There is the confirmation magic boomerang.
Alright, getting a lot of blue items early on here. Or not, leaving it there.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
And as you suspected, could bomb into that room to the left, but not too much for this to get there.
Yeah, this is one of those screens where the Dark Nuts are just rude, so I don't blame Thilotilo for playing a melody again just to get the lake dried up to open up some pathways to get around them.
Yeah, not too friendly to navigate around otherwise. And Wizrobes in level 3. Potion price is 31 and 80.
So not so great on the red potions, but I mean, you get the small discount for the blue. I think that's probably going to be time dependent later, as we do have an old man just below the just below Kingdahl there in the A column. We know that because it can only be a handful of rooms that won't bomb in level 3. Zelda's room, which can't fit there, and old men as well are the other option.
Finally found a medium secret, by the way. It's 37 in the seed. So, not that we need to invest in arrows, but maybe if we need meat later.
Coast item time. It is predictably a heart container. Still looking for the floor item in 3. Might end up with plus keys out of 3, which is great. If the item's there, good luck.
Yeah, that's a nope.
And you're gonna have to burn a key most likely, or it might drop in here. The best thing is, if we haven't seen the Triforce yet 3, which we may have, I may have been looking at the other screen when it happened, then you can kill all the Gria on this side and just get trapped by it.
And there it is.
I played the odds a little bit.
Okay, yeah, we still have cheap meat in the other shop, so that's... I might have mistaken the meat earlier for shield.
Yeah, I believe you did, but it's alright. I figured we'd see another one, and bait's still... If it's second quest 8 that has the bait, I actually think it's almost not worth buying unless you run into the actual block itself. There's a lot more opportunity for it to be worthless than, say, First Quest 3, where it's very likely that you're going to have to run into the room. You just have to hope it's below you.
Yeah, it's pretty horizontally oriented in there.
Yep, the other benefit is the left side of 8 is also a 2-wide column, so you can get around it a lot of the times when it is over there. Not too many of the optional flute spots opening up on the overworld. Thilotilo should have quite the advantage when it comes to overworld clearing.
Yeah, clearing, but it hasn't necessarily netted a lot of stuff yet. Well, there's another medium secret.
Should eventually net a candle purchase. Level 5 is over just east of the Deadwoods. Oh, hey, that's something useful in the overworld. Unfortunately, at 3 hearts, you can't pick up the white sword items. We have to have at least 4 for that bow. So, white sword item and magical sword both at the bomb spots right around vanilla start.
Small secret of 6. Expensive key of 118.
$97 is on that meat shop, so might have also seen that one. Should be interesting to see. Well, once we find level 1, I'll be interested to see how key block that is. If it's not too bad, we could get lucky with the early gains in level 3 and not need to buy keys either on the overworld, so that would eliminate keys and arrows. Assuming Thilotilo can get into 3 at some point here soon and pick those up.
Yeah, that's so far can't really break into 5 either. I think Kingdahl looked at it, saw the key doors, and thought, no thanks.
A lot of people have lists of what they would dig early versus what they wouldn't. I know that for me, in this setup, I think it's 2Q7 and 1Q4 are probably my least favorite to dig. First Quest 4 pre-ladder is a real problem, especially if you start in the lower portion. There's a Chevy, and there's also more than a few potential, either top moat rooms or the double moat rooms.
Arrow pickup for Thilotilo. 4 hearts is not enough to pick up the white sword bow.
I don't know that we ever saw the second item in 3. I feel like Kingdahl got a heart container elsewhere.
Five is enough, though.
So, let's see. If it's in level... If there's a floor item in level 3, it's most likely past the Wiz Robes and the other key door. And that is a required key door to get over there, given the horizontal chute on the room below.
Yeah, I think there technically may be some unexplored rooms on the left, but... Old Man in the way, and I think also key doors.
Yep, there's the map for Thilotilo. A little less experienced than Kingdahl, but even still probably had it figured out that he was in first quest, given the way it had progressed thus far.
Yeah, and by the nature of the flags, a mixed plus shapes dungeon setup, like, you may have done some practice seeds, looked at the vanilla maps a little bit, thinking, okay, I'm coming into the 4th column over, and getting a sense that way. So I think we've seen the room to the left of here, but not any further down.
Given the way this room is currently unfolding, I don't think we're going to be going left anytime soon either.
And chat calling out a door repair of -24. popping open the key door for safety, so... Hello, Ganon's room.
Alright, so one more room we can check down here. This could technically be the floor drop, but it's not exactly what we want to fight.
We're looking at a decent time or combat investment in doing more now, for sure. Maybe pulls out the Triforce anyway.
Should be doable. I think there is a key in the room below. You gotta step just a little bit out. There you go. Very expensive hint shop. All in the 40s, so you're in for at least 130 rupees.
Yeah, and it's like geographically not the furthest from the start screen, but you started at 1 key 5.
Successfully lived through the Wizrobes and the Gorilla and got the Triforce out of 3. I'm not going to spend any more time looking for that floor item either, so both runners pretty much on even footing at this point.
Yeah, Kingdahl now out on the overworld, seeing some things that he didn't before.
Candle purchase hype. 47 rupee candles, not bad. Level 6, we have started on the correct side of 6 for it to be a reasonable dig. If you start in the tail, I find that that's a little bit more of a struggle to get out of there. Because again, there are some moat rooms in level 6.
Yeah, the same kind of thing you were saying with 4. At least if you start down there, it can kick you out pretty quickly. There's a certain straightforwardness to that, I think. Like, Seed, please tell me where I can actually go. Oh, hug the Pole's voice. So nothing in Dead Woods recorder spot. Kingdahl survives try number 2 at that room and gets a 5er for it. And have the regular boomerang, which Kingdahl is actually going to pick up.
Well, there's an upgrade on the overworld. Worth noting as well that there will be stunnable enemies down there. We do have level 1 at the bomb spot in the grave. It is key locked immediately. So Pirouette is going to get rid of that one, but given that we're in the bottom right of level 1, almost certainly going to get blocked by another key door almost immediately.
Yeah, trying to get out of the tail region. Oh, that's open, at least.
And we do have the flute, so here comes some bombs. You know, I really do. It's not in logic per se, but it'd be funny if you could have the flute as your starting item guarantee the potential for the flute underneath the dig dogger for fun, just because it's strictly no longer needed. The flute does take into account some of the overall stuff, but doesn't take into account itself.
Yeah, that would be pretty funny. I've been amused by the idea of like beatable only type settings, just to know like when some things roll together, what exactly is locked by itself.
Two keys at this point actually probably gets us enough of level 1. And any key, so never mind, we don't have any key problems anymore.
Yeah, that's enough level 1.
Just barely got that bomb to qualify. And the wand is the third item, so all 3 items pretty quickly.
Yeah, was that 3 consecutive rooms, or was there one more in the middle there?
I mean, we took a 1-room detour to get another key off some likes, but yeah, it was literally a row of items. Or column.
Perfect.
This looks to be the transport in level 6. Yeah, good. The any key is good for getting through the dungeon pretty quickly. The wand is definitely going to speed up Thilotilo over Kingdahl's clearance, outside of the fact that Kingdahl has bow and silvers at the moment, but not much money.
Just so happened that all the key doors are out of the way. And one.
It's pretty rare. Technically, there was one in the way, but it was easily removable.
Got a moat in 6. And I have a tea room, so we're starting to see some of the water.
Alright, this room doesn't have too much. The other struggle now is we don't have the any key on Kingdahl's side, so we have to burn what precious keys we have just to get into this tail to try to get the Triforce. And
one last key door.
Well, hold on. We gotta at least try for the kinetic key and hope that the block doesn't get push only open. Hey.
Alright.
Our reward is Landbola, the blue variety, but they're kind of slower than normal.
And bow claimed for Thilotilo.
Must have just been the lag entering the room.
So a little worried this was not going to be the friendliest room, but there goes Kingdahl's Triforce.
To answer the question, chat, Tilotilo's checked a lot of loot spots already. Didn't have a candle, so couldn't check the candle spots in the same area. Yeah, the risk of the double block room is occasionally it's pushed to open, so I thought there might be a chance to see I was going to troll Kingdahl and force him to walk out and find a key somewhere else to get his try.
Was taking his 6 play over to what we know as 2Q7. And Thilotilo with the any key is opted to go back into 5, do a little more exploring. So we have a way down to the bottom of 7.
Yep, and technically speaking, there was a turnstile room in there, so you should have transports on either side that should access themselves at some point in time.
Yeah, Kingdahl as a player has a way down there at least. Triforce all the way at the top of 5. Aha.
I think I know what we're gonna do here. We're gonna say no thanks to 7 and come back later.
Couldn't quite beat the whole rupee boss. But yeah, that goes back to starting with the recorder. We can just come back later. If we really need to. Oh, this is nice. The Lambos are trapped. Don't have the most money to play with anymore, so I gotta... Well, we do have the wand as well.
Yeah, a little surprised we haven't decided to switch to the wand here. We've burned through the rest of our money, but there should still be secrets available, and we actually skipped that 5 even.
Keys for the taking if you wanted to spend a couple and get in here. And there's Mugger. Quite high amount on the money as well. Kingdahl upgrades his boomerang.
Alright, we have another heart container in 5, so I think that takes care of both the floor and staircase items in 5.
And level 2 found in the Eastern Forest.
I think that was not quite in the way. Maybe it was. I thought it was one room south of what would be in the way.
Now we've got a much more walkable level finding level 2. Triforce is just close by as well. And Thilotilo is the Triforce of 5.
Yep, both runners have picked different dungeons to clear so far, just kind of based on progression and key counts as well. Heart container in 2.
Yeah, Triforce slightly escaped from its own room.
Kingdahl still looking for that second floor item. Really just looking for the ladder more than anything else. A couple things we take still.
Could take the book as much as it gives us wand fire. Aha, red candle on the floor of 2, so just short trip back to the Triforce.
Yep, just gotta get around the old man. It's kind of in the way, but only a mild inconvenience.
A very short message in this seed, so helps a little bit with revisits. That one Vire did a good job. And other hints. At the first quest level 6 location. Got dueling fantastic screens for Darknuts. With them walking all over the stairs and then, oh, they get out of the way of Kingdahl exiting the lake.
I think we might see a bit of a Death Mountain play here shortly from Thilotilo.
Does Tilo have Erdrick's armor yet? No, there just really hasn't been that much money in the sea. Like, we still haven't seen a large secret even. That I've seen, anyway. Alright, Kingdahl into 4. So we'll see if we end up getting forced out of this level.
Starting on the lower portion, I think it's at least mildly favorable. Thilotilo opting out of Death Mountain and going to clear other Overworld checks out first.
Yeah, kind of doing some cleanup with the candle. And level 4 giving Kingdahl a key to get through that door. Level 8 at 1Q1.
Yep, given we've knocked out a few of the smaller dungeons, might as well think about progressing through here. It will be Guerrilla Wizrobe though, so watch out for projectiles. It's essentially a first quest 9 setup with staircases, and there are the aforementioned Wizrobes. Staircase number 2 yields transport number 2.
Looks like we've been able to break into 4 so far.
You don't always get blocked, it just is a regular occurrence. And wow, there is a ladder in 4. Surprise, surprise.
Alright, that's probably why then. Wizrobe Guerrilla set looks like a fun time.
Well, got a clock out of it.
Got a red ring on the floor on 4.
Clearly 4 was the place to be.
And it's a pretty good dungeon item-wise, and there's very few rooms left of it. Rupee boss not with the Triforce this time. I did see a call of go mode in the chat, but the one thing I couldn't remember is whether we've found level 9 yet.
Don't believe so. So I think that is still something that can get in the way. And Power Bracelet is still outstanding.
Kingdahl now up to 6 keys now. And Compass, an 8.
Well, that's it's pretty much at the normal start location. More blue wizard rooms.
Oh, Triforce in a tea room. But yeah, this is the side we can get it. And Kingdahl did end up walking all around that pretty much. Like, some of it's linear, but hard to save too many rooms in that.
All that clearing of that room only for it to be nothing. Rip.
Man. I walk all the way back out.
I have to go back in that room now because of the blue bubble. Thilotilo might go directly to the Triforce if possible now.
Yeah, just see what gets in our way.
Hope for a bomb drop, maybe. There you go.
Perfect.
I thought for a second we'd get the bait block there, but instead it's just a Gliok guarding maybe a floor drop, and that'd be about it. Well, can we walk through?
Alrighty.
Can we continue to walk through?
Just keep walking.
Check this first. Don't want to give up a freebie item. It is instead just another transport. I think at this point, might just back up and check another room or two of transports that were skipped. Hope that maybe it isn't. And nope, now I think we're gone.
Yeah.
I don't think Thilotilo's gotten anything out of here yet.
Yeah, 9 hearts at most a heart.
Yeah, until we find 9, we don't know if it's power bracelet blocked or not. As long as it's not, then it is go mode. But still outstanding somewhere.
Yeah, besides that, everything else is unblocked. We have White Sword item, we have all levels 1 through 8. Almost a completely opposite set of Triforces at this point.
Looks like Kingdahl's still interested in heart containers. We'll take him to 8. Red Ring, sometimes people start to skip some of those hearts just because they don't figure to have a real shot at Mags, but Mags is not in a terrible spot this seed either.
I almost wonder if it could be like speculating on seed making us go back into 7 for Power Bracelet. Because it's pay life for money, and don't really have too much money at the moment.
Right, Thilotilo is now in the dungeon that he needs to be in to get closer to completion of the seed. It's shaping up to be a slight lead for Kingdahl, but one that can still be caught up from, even in Second Quest 9. And we still have to see if Kingdahl can even right way to the Compass Room or the Triforce. There's always a chance that he doesn't.
No key issues to this point, despite not having the any key.
It's most part thanks to it being first quest front half and being at a couple different dungeons where it's you're more likely to have key drops than key doors.
It's essentially unmissable as well when he gets over level 1. Carving up Pole's voice seems so nice. Silver arrows.
Yep, and we have that ladder pickup. The only thing that's really going to be interesting, I think, is if raft spots happen to come into play. I think we've checked one of them, but I don't think we've checked the coast raft spot yet.
So the question is either player in go mode. We don't quite know because we haven't seen head or tail of level 9 yet.
I think the odds are absolutely in the favor of, yes, they're in go mode, but there's still one spot on the overworld that can, in fact, be 9 and not be accessible yet. Well, as far as the raft goes, I should say, Power Bracelet, there's plenty. There's actually another, 7 or 8.
I was just thinking for a moment, like, is there something I don't know?
Yep, still caught up on the fact that Kingdahl did not manage to find that on the floor through the routing he took.
Yeah, he gave it like a couple rooms more, but just ended up going back to the Triforce. And Tilo almost done with 4. Triforce is at the end, but it's not going to be a problem.
I think both runners still have the majority of Death Mountain to do. Definitely the west side of Death Mountain.
And there's level 1 for Kingdahl. here's where the boomerang can come in handy.
That's why you get it.
Alright, 6 Triforces to 5, about to be 7 to 5. "2% Chungus are a tracker informing us if they've kept track well enough, there's about a 25% chance level 9 is power bracelet blocked." As Thilotilo picks up the coast turret.
Well, we're going to get the answer on the second raft spot here momentarily. This would be hugely beneficial for Thilotilo and absolutely a problem for Kingdahl. And the answer is no, it's not there. Meanwhile, Kingdahl has 2 of the 3 items out of 1. We're about to get to the last one. Thilotilo, meanwhile, knows who we have in chat and is showing off a little bit.
Okay, you do have to spend like 1 key in one.
Alright, Death Mountain West is going to begin.
Finally, a large secret of 108.
So more than enough money to get what we need out of this, and plenty of ammo as well.
Yeah, why not? Pick up another potion. Bubble setups have not been the worst in what we've seen of 7 and 8.
And level 9 is at Death Mountain West bomb spot, so both runners now officially go mode.
Yep.
Though neither one is in no mode. Because neither one of them has the complete picture, I believe. Kingdahl still missing level 8, and Thilotilo missing 7, 6, and 9.
Yeah, I think that would be just because Thilotilo kind of stopped short of doing the Northeast.
Answer the question, chat. 7's Triforce, if I remember correctly, was a transport away.
Yeah,
it was the first one you had access to, so really wasn't that bad. And level 6's Triforce was a little bit further in.
Yeah, you start at the top. I think it ended up that you didn't have to turnstile clip, you could just go to the left for the Triforce.
Yeah, I feel like Kingdahl's going to end up almost full clearing the overworld, just based on where he's going now and where the last dungeon he needs is.
And Thilotilo's missing 2 levels are pretty close together.
Well, 2 of the 3.
Oh yeah, I was thinking of 6 and 7, but yeah, 9 as well.
I think it'll be a while to get to 9 just because be a handful of bomb spots that you'll check off in the way. Thilotilo looking for dungeons. Just anything, really. The odds are probably getting closer to 50-50 for Thilotilo to have a dungeon block, especially with multiple dungeons out there.
Yeah, back in 3, I'm not sure that we ever saw a second item, because neither of them's been back, and they were both low on keys at the time.
Nope, we haven't gone back.
Also, combat. That was a problem.
I want to say the Triforce in 6 is bottom left.
I remember staring at the glowing dot for a little while, so I think Compass is close by.
Could also be a chance for a transport that moves us across a little ways.
Yeah, I think that ended up happening on Kingdahl's track of it as well. And there's 8 for Kingdahl.
The question will be mostly whether or not Kingdahl decides to take staircases or tries to clear out entire areas. We know that clearing out the entire area he's currently heading in is going to lead him to the quickest answer. Unfortunately, the transport is taking us a little ways away.
Maybe heading toward room density. Or just more stairs. Map all the stairs and go from there. Well, there's a way into that chunky left portion. More trapped blue noodles.
See, this transport will take us near where we started level 6 at, so basically gets us turned around going the right way.
Unfortunately, going to finish out the top bit and maybe see a lot more than one would need to. I think Kingdahl's ending up on a similar path through 8 to what Tilo went down. Yeah, now with Compass, that's your decision point, and it's going to be back to the start of the dungeon.
And there's the Compass in 6.
Pass go, collect $200.
I'm not quite sure what Thilotilo's after. Maybe just, again, making sure they don't pass the power bracelet up.
I think I might be a little fearful about that.
Yeah, with flute in hand, you just go and whatever happens, happens. You go back if you have to. I'm just about get the stereo Triforce pickups here.
Well, okay, 8 Triforces before the 56-minute mark.
Just a prank.
Alright, Kingdahl, taking a walk up to 9. It's about to be roar and door time.
Oh, immediate roar.
Aha.
Redoor money. Ooh, well, you're going to come back to that room pretty quickly.
Yep. Single shutter door could be Zelda.
Nope,
Not
not
Zelda.
anymore. Door number 3.
Thilotilo done in level 6, by the way, as Kingdahl finds Ganon in his Chevy room.
Well, we've taken a driver and a couple fireballs so far.
Not the freest fight.
You just gotta get the first hit, and then usually in the Chevy it resets. So the problem right now is the pattern is going to keep resetting based on where Kingdahl is sitting. If you can get like just a little bit lower, he'll. Oh, never mind. He got on that one. Maybe nope. Yeah, if you go a little bit lower, the stance is going to be a little bit different, and there's a chance he'll land on your side.
Is it something about half tile versus whole tile?
No, it's just whenever the sequence is, and it gets a little wonky.
Okay.
I think we just potion here, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Place
think
to use it.
I want to say Thilotilo is now going to be off pattern as far as the route in 7, unfortunately. I'll find out if it matters if this left door opens and we see a Zelda immediately, then it won't be much. We took the wrong way. Good thing about Second Quest 9 is it's a little bit smaller. That is my favorite room to see the shutter pop in, by the way, right there.
Yep. Can't do much about that.
Alright, left side is not the answer, it's instead turnstile. If that has the compass, it'll be buried forever. So right is the only way to go from here. And I think we could just probably ignore most of these. Oh, well, I don't know for sure on this. Good old bubble room's always tricky. book in 7.
Nice.
And a Triforce, so off we go. Kingdahl going towards the right ear first. And if Zelda is in the right ear, we're going to have to clear this room out.
Continuing to chip away at the health a little bit, but still got another potion in pocket.
Yep. Thilotilo's probably looking for a bomb shop. 0 bombs with Death Mountain as the majority of the checks. Hey, there we go. Get your GGs out for Kingdahl, finishing in a time of 1 hour.
1 minute and 21 seconds.
And Thilotilo's not that far behind. I think this is doable within the next 5 or 6 minutes for him. It's just a question of finding 9 and then finding Zelda. Finding Gan's not the hard part.
Yeah, and that's even 2 Q9. 11, not enough for the magical sword.
Yeah, we were at 12 at one point, but got mugged in 7, so we lost one of them.
Sword upgrade not appearing in this seed.
Let's see, though, outside of maybe level 3 or level 8 with the Wizrobe setup, I don't think there was a lot that went wrong combat-wise, nor was there a lot of real bad blockage.
Yeah, maybe some chalkable up to Overworld priorities. Just Tila going a little while without ever seeing 6 or 7. And still is yet to get to West Death Mountain. I think probably on pace till, unfortunately, last location, unless we're fluting back to the grave and maybe going west. We have a lot of Overworld left. This is kind of an interesting play. Yeah, and money for bombs. The Overworld's not so threatening to the win. But we can just walk anywhere in 3 with Reckless Abandon now. By the way, Aquamentus awaits at the grave. Tilo might not be the type to look at the race room. There's a copy of the recorder as the floor drop in 3.
Let's see what the next play is. Right, 8. Oh, don't dig 8. That'd be no fun. I think. Oh no, this is level 7 instead because it's second quest. That's right.
I think he means 8 to go take the Any Road back to Death Mountain.
Oh, I feel like this is just a dig.
So
we're all sorts of out of whack here on the overworld tracking, or just again maybe metagaming a little bit that there's an overworld block. At one point there was a thought of putting a overworld block forced in. That never made it though. In fact, it didn't even make it to like the general testing. I don't think. I think it got nixed right off the bat.
yeah, you tested one seed and it was like, I'm gonna turn it off because I don't have that much time, and then we just kept it that way.
Not quite true. I know that Dark Falls, aka Malcure, tested a few flags. I actually rolled up like 20 or 30 to see how often the forced overworld block would happen, and it was roughly like 60% of the time you get blocked by something. So it's just like, if we're getting blocked 60% of the time, then that seems good enough to me. You do want there to be some gambling involved. You want there to be a chance for a gamble and win to happen instead of always having to basically full clear everything. Like this, you didn't have to full clear everything at all. You got to skip 7 if you wanted, as far as times go. Same with 8. And if you had skipped 6 as well, that also would not have hurt you. You basically only had to dig level 3, level 4, and I would argue level 1 probably was the third dig that you really needed for progression to go fast. Because that any key plus the wand gives you a little bit of combat and the ability to just walk through every key door and not care.
I mean, it's not lost to me that the guy who went into 1 first is currently still playing.
Yeah, but one could also argue that the one that went into 1 first could also be in level 9 at this point as well. Just, again, feel like we maybe have assumed the overworld block is on. We're going to see the bait block. It's not really in the way because we have a transport that takes us, I think, to the second E column at some point in the dungeon, or at least takes us up into that horizontal path on the top side of the spiral. Based on my notes, I think it's an item in the stair in 7 and the 3 in here, and that's the extent of the digging that Thilotilo will have to do to full clear. Non-zero chance that the power bracelet is in 9, by the way. Important items are on for 9.
Yeah, that might be a little interesting / unfortunate. There'd be a lot of deep digs to then look at the seed and then maybe read the flags and think, what the heck just happened? Hi, Mako. We think Tilo might be looking for Power Bracelet, thinking level 9 is blocked, but it's just behind a bomb spot on West Death Mountain.
This room again. I remember this one fondly.
And we welcome to the booth our race winner, Kingdahl. Congratulations on moving up to 2-0.
May have the mic playing the role of spoiler on him just a little bit.
Yeah, my Discord is a little, Discordy.
Oh yeah. Well, all in all, for this flag set, this seed was not so bad.
No, it was the fastest I've had, and everything seems to work out except for level 9. That was the only bad thing about this seed, the position.
Yep, Thilotilo, looking at the map, has the entirety of Death Mountain available to him, including a couple of Power Bracelet spots, but not the flute spot. So I am now thoroughly convinced that he believes that he's Power Bracelet blocked out of 9 and that Overworld blocks are on. And that's why he's digging 8 again.
Yeah, that's a bit unfortunate. I heard that the race was pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, he got the last Triforce maybe 10 seconds or so before you found Zelda, so there was a chance that he could get into 9, and with the ease of Ganon, maybe he could find a faster route to Zelda or something.
Yeah, it doesn't feel good to have the Power Bracelet and Raft be out there somewhere in a lot of empty spots on my tracker. So that's not a good thing. You're very happy when you find 8 and 9 at that point.
Yeah. Let's see. 5 was for sure the Raft. We saw that on the well. I didn't see it on the floor, but I saw him sail across to level 4 right after 5. There's also a chance maybe Thilotilo feels less confident about combat and is hoping for a chance at Magical Sword.
So what was max? Was it 10?
It's not 10 or 11. It could be 12 or 13.
I didn't want to go down there and check. It was too late, and this seed is too fast, and it's only Ganon you want to kill in the 9 anyway.
Let's see where we're heading. We are heading towards Magical Sword.
And then when you start with the flute, everything just gets sped up because you know that you as long as you get the Triforce, you can come back at any time. So then it's like, okay, I'm out of here, and then you hope that you never be back.
So we're gonna see pretty soon whether or not 13 hearts is enough. I would think it is. Just the odds are in favor. If not, someone somewhere will laugh, and it won't be Thilotilo.
It's a bad Ganon room also. Just stand in the corner and hope for the best.
Yeah.
I ain't no Fred fighting Ganon. That's for sure.
We're at level 8 again, so back at it for maybe the power bracelet. There's not too many rooms left in 8 that Thilotilo hasn't seen.
Yeah, I guess this was a pickup for some of the gross Wizrobe combo that we've seen in here.
Yeah, I think Wizrobes, to my recollection, were really only in 2 or 3 dungeons that were necessary to dig, or perhaps clear a couple just to get to the Compass or Triforce.
I was very relieved that the path down was just straight down, and no stair everywhere. It was just down, 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 and that was it.
Yep. In order to know it was there, you had to take a few transports and get to the inside of the spiral, the vertical path there.
Yeah, but it very easily can become like a magic stair situation. It's 10 minutes of jumping back and forth, and then you add the Wizrobe so that 8 of them in the way, and it spirals out of fun.
And White Sword.
White Sword in the stair 8, just a troll. Out we go. Maybe fluting to 7 if we flute to the right. Well, so spoiled just a little bit of intrigue in the race, but again, I think you were probably far enough ahead in 9 where even if you knew where 9 was, probably still 5 minutes difference. But yeah, Tilo's come quite a ways in this since the last time I kind of watched one of his races. I believe it was, I don't know if it was Rookie Rumble 23 or if it was before that. I know I've seen him recently in one of the tournaments though.
Yeah, and then you have a seed like this where Red Ring is probably very free, what I can remember, in an kind of open bush, and then you get Silver and Bow, and yeah, it's a tough seed for facing someone newer, because it becomes like vanilla. It just go fast, and that's not great.
Yeah, we were talking about a little bit before you jumped in here. Really, if you dig 1, 3, and 4 early, this seed can go extremely fast. 1, just because any key means no more key door problems, and a wand helps you a little, I guess. And then 3, having the silvers, 4, having the ladder is all you need, and the red ring being... I mean, 4, I think, was always full clear just because of where you start and where the Triforce is, so you find a red ring because of it.
Yeah, I didn't get a bomb early, otherwise I would have found 1 first, and this could have been a 45 something, because if I'd had the magical key, I would have done 5 right away instead of coming back, and everything just opens up. Now I had to be a little careful about the keys everywhere, so that slowed me down a bit. But you don't want to find level 1 after 15 minutes having a magical key. That's not it.
Well, thankfully, you did have a decent chunk of keys after a couple of dungeons, though.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. It's just sitting there between 3 and 5 all the time. It's very scary, very scary.
Alright, Power Bracelet was not in 9, so the Super Troll is not in play. He'd have been really stuck if the Power Bracelet was in 9 and he thought it was Power Bracelet blocked.
Yeah, he must have thought that it was a forced. I can't see it any other way.
I am not sure where we're fluting to. We'll find out.
I mean, the last half of this seed is just finding out if the power bracelet or raft is required. That's the only thing that's going on. So,
Yeah, if level 9 was in the raft spot, this race would have suddenly been very interesting.
I'm just hoping it isn't.
Yeah, 'cause I think that was the big chance that Thilotilo had, is if the coast raft spot, because we had seen the other one already, if the coast raft spot was 9, and you had missed out on the room in 5 with it on the floor, then it might give him enough time to get the information to 9 that he needed before he got back to 5. I think it would have been a little while. Maybe level 3 gets cleared before level 5.
Yeah, it's very, very possible, but I'm not staying in 5 with locked doors and like 2 keys and a flute and the Triforce. No way, no way.
Oh, now we get all the money.
Yes, find the power bracelet in 7 to get all your money unlocked outside of, what, one large secret was accessible maybe?
Yeah, I saw one. It was like 107 or something. And it was at the point where money didn't matter anymore. But I mean, it's always nice to be able to throw some arrows around, really.
Yeah, walking past bomb spots at this point, this tells me everything I need. And then we only have one bomb in a dream to find 9. I guess if he were to check this power bracelet spot last, maybe the first bomb he uses is the correct one.
Yeah, that would actually work out.
Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to check it. Yeah, he's just going to flute away.
Well, we can afford, what is it?
4 rupee bombs?
136 bombs?
Yeah. Always nice to have Bomb Shop not be rare and be very cheap.
Yeah, it's a nice help. You know that you're never gonna run out, and then you have one like in the east and one in the west. I don't know, probably more, but that's good.
Yep. You still pulled off some good 10 counts to not have to backtrack for bombs, so that was also helpful. But for newer runners, certainly the cheap bombs being in quite a few places helps. Although I still think Thilotilo is probably not a newer runner anymore to me. Probably more of a kind of in that group between mid-level and upper level, just a few more weeks or maybe a few more months of practice to kind of get up into the pace in the top 25 or 30.
That sounds about where my level has been for 8 years.
I mean, my level dips down there. I mean, right now that's kind of where I feel I'm at. Sometimes I'm in good form, and sometimes I'm just feeling too old to play.
That's the unfair part about this, because if I took this version of me and went back to 2017 or something, then it would be different. But everyone's getting better and knowledge is shared, and I mean, it's a good thing and it's a bad thing.
Yeah, it's at this time he knew. I can't repeat the rest of this, but Thilotilo has just figured out that 9 is not force blocked, and is probably sad.
No, but I mean, if you're gonna take one of these lessons, then take it as soon as possible. So he's not gonna make that mistake again. So that's good.
Yeah, there's a forfeit incoming, and I'm sure probably figured it out on his own, but we'll point out where it's at and talk to him a little bit, I suppose. But yeah, this is the right time to do it when you are in the 1-0 group, because you're 1 win away from play-in race for brackets, and 2 wins in, you get in entirely. So already has done half the work needed. Just needs to find 1 more in the next 3.
Yeah, and still plenty of time to do that. One race a week. Still early days.
For those wondering while we wait, there will be a match in about 90 minutes, I believe, between Malkior and Vitorp on the main channel and on SpeedGaming 3 at roughly 9 o'clock. There will also be another one. That one is Angel FM and Tabby Orange, but we have talked enough to get Thilotilo into the booth. GG's. AO Discord. Nice.
How about now?
We got it.
All right. So what I'm assuming happened is that before I cleared a dungeon, I fluted somewhere and thought it didn't trigger, and it would have, and therefore I missed 9 behind a flute spot. And so therefore I assumed that when I got to every other Triforce, that 9 had to be behind the power bracelet, so I went diving for the power bracelet, covered all those spots, and found out I'd missed something. So, and I know it's not the raft spots, I know it's not the ladder spots, I know it's not the power bracelet spots, so clearly I missed a flute spot, and I'm assuming it was one at the very beginning.
How about none of the above? I think you were assuming, I think if you read the flags, you've assumed that there is a forced overworld block, and there is not. It is just by chance.
Oh! Yes, you are correct. I assumed a forced overworld block, and every practice seed I have done up to this point has had a forced overworld, or has had an overworld block. So I did indeed assume that, and that would explain a lot. I would have been finished 20 minutes ago under that situation, so that's good to know.
Yeah, not quite fast enough anyways, I think, to beat Kingdahl. I think you had your last Triforce as he finished, so in this case, it really didn't impact the results so much. You would have had to have... I think the best way for you to have found it with your one bomb is to have checked the West Death Mountain power bracelet spot last and spent your last bomb one screen to the left. That would have gotten you 9, but alas, you left because, again, you were assuming forced overworld block on, and no reason to check that if you don't need it.
Exactly. Yeah, so I didn't expect to win this regardless. I do think I would have ended up doing it a little faster because, like, with 6, for example, I did an extra 8 quick rooms there past the Triforce, or 6 quick rooms, because I had a feeling Power Bracelet was going to be necessary to find one of the last dungeons because of the forced overworld block assumption. And so I did clear some of the dungeons slower than I would have otherwise because I was hedging my bets for the Power Bracelet. That being said, I'm not winning. I wasn't planning, or didn't think I would win anyway, but I definitely would have finished much faster than I did. Well, given that I didn't.
Well, I mean, the counterpoint to that is if you have 6, and let's say you have 3 or 4 rooms left behind the Triforce, and there's a chance the Power Bracelet block is still in play, I think there's still a chance you could think about digging that just to make sure you don't have to go back there and walk that whole path. Just because it's a far enough away from the entry room, which I think is on the top side, middle of 6 somewhere.
Yeah, definitely. So
it wasn't a bad play to do that necessarily, thinking that maybe it would be required. In your case, thinking it was absolutely required, but even if you don't know it's required or not, still not the worst play to go through and make sure you don't get trolled and have to dig back, because if you do, that loses you more time in the end anyways.
Well, if I'm going to make this mistake, I'm glad I did it against somebody who this wasn't... or I'm glad I did it in a situation where this wasn't what cost me the race. I wasn't going to win the race anyway, so this is a good opportunity to learn that it does not have a forced overworld flag, rather than one where I would have been in the lead and then coughed it up because of that. So, it's a good learning experience.
Yeah, we had a little brief chat about we kind of clued into what was going on once you went back to 8, because why 8? But we talked about it a little bit. We did, I don't know that we did extensive testing on it, but we generated enough seeds to start nailing down less chance of confirmation bias, and I think we netted like 60% of seeds are blocked by something if you have mixed overworld. specifically mixed first. So didn't feel it was really necessary to throw that flag on, because that kind of ruins the ability to maybe roll the dice and gamble a little bit more. We don't want to completely discourage gambling. We want you to be able to maybe make a big play and see if it pays off, like level 9 being important items at 9. That was where I was actually kind of hoping would happen, just because it would have been kind of interesting to see the reaction when you dug all your items and Power Bracelet was stuck in 9 somewhere.
Yeah, you probably would have gotten the exact same reaction, was a forfeit, because I assumed there was a flute spot somewhere I didn't do.
Nope, you nailed them all. I was kind of looking at your tracker on your page, just kind of cheating the information to see what you had left, and I saw all flute spots, including the one Death Mountain tackled, and nothing left but the bomb spots in Death Mountain and Power Bracelet spots. Yeah, that kind of spelled out everything we needed to know.
It's just funny. I've done 19 practice seeds in the last 2 weeks, and every single one of them has had an overworld block, so it's a funny time to learn that. But anywho, the only other thing I have to say with that seed is that is, I think, possibly the nastiest starting location that this seed can offer, or that this flag set can offer.
Perhaps. There's possibilities for you to start on level 6 and have whiz robes right below you, for example. That, especially red ones that can fire upwards immediately and all spawn on that path to kind of force you to like wait them out and then tank damage, like damage boost with iframes to get out. That's kind of the worst case scenario. We're hopeful it doesn't happen that often, and giving you wood sword gives you a chance to maybe take out some of them. But yeah, that's the only reason why we kind of allowed the full overworld setup, is you get that wood sword right away, and that can eliminate some of those nasty starts. Yeah,
definitely. Fortunately, the path wasn't actually guarded by anything meaningful. But just in terms of routing, you can't go back to start, because you have to go through like 6 screens in order to get anywhere. If you ever die. So I made a side trip to go to a ferry just to make sure I didn't die again, because it's such a long path back.
Yeah. Well, in the end, you got your first win out of the way in week 1, so that got you halfway to play-ins for primary bracket, and 2 wins get you to that point, 3 wins get you in definitively. So, and also, as you noted, I'd say roughly 5 minutes behind if you don't dig a couple rooms of 6 and you just explore the overworld after getting your last Triforce from finishing. Ganon, in case I don't know if you want to be spoiled or not.
Go ahead.
Ganon, you hear the roar in the old man room right off the start in 9. He's to the left. In a Chevy room for fun, because of course. And then Zelda's top right ear, you have to clear some whiz robes and random junk out of the way. But in Second Quest 9, you can get there pretty much walking. I think Kingdahl cleared left cheek and kind of cleared all the way around and could walk just about everywhere. Only one shoot room, I think, kind of trolled you, sir.
There was a reverse C where I was killing some whiz robes. I think that was the only one.
But not a terrible 9, really not a terrible seed combat-wise at all. This is actually one of the easier ones for the required items. For real, those Wizrobe blocks in 8 were nasty for the, I don't remember what item I got there, but it was... White sword.
Oh, the white sword, yes. I went out of my way to go get mags so I could clear that room for the white sword. That was fun.
Yeah, but if you... hindsight, level 3, I don't think had much in the way of. I mean, your second flute technically was the Gliok block, but basically,
everything else was easy. If I hadn't dove back that, everything was flying. I've not played a seed this fast. I was sitting there going, could I sub-hour this? When right now in my practice times, my goal is sub 90. So it was a fun blazing seed. But anyway, I'm just kind of glad to be along for the ride. I done the rookie rumbles, and I decided to join the big leagues this year, and did not expect, there's a lot of amazing players in here, so I'm just happy to be here. Thank you everybody for putting on the show and hanging out and watching me confuse myself thoroughly.
Well, you'll not make this mistake again in this flag set.
That
that's the
is
good thing.
true.
And to maybe give you a sense of the gap, I'm thinking of like Kingdahl is finding level 8 just about the time as you're heading up to 6 and 7, but those are right next to each other. So I think it was like that was still a pretty close point, and I think you wouldn't have to feel too bad about that.
Yeah, I think 110, 110 is probably where you finish. So yeah, it
Not
was
bad at all.
definitely a good race. It was definitely something that could have been down to the wire a little bit. I think Second Quest 9 makes it a little less dramatic because outside of the magic staircase, it's not quite as daunting as First Quest 9 or sometimes Shapes can be with all the locked off portions. Seems like they're very segmented in First Quest and in Shapes specifically. But yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing some more races, both from Kingdahl and from Thilotilo. Hopefully get to catch a couple more of these as we get through Swiss and head towards brackets here in about 3 or 4 weeks.
Yeah, thanks for the restream and the commentary and tracking and all that it is that everyone does to make this work again.
Yep, and thanks for staying up to races. I know in Sweden it's just a little bit later than it is here.
It's 1 a.m. soon.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Yeah, we'll let you get to sleep here in a little bit. Any final thoughts before we let you two go?
Just GG Kingdahl.
Yeah, GG, you're coming on strong. You're going to be a threat here in the later parts of this tournament, probably. Hopefully, looks like. So, GG.
Yep, and again, 2 matches on schedule, both on SpeedGaming, one on the main channel, one on 3. So if you're looking for more action, that's where the rest will be tonight. And not too far away from the next wheel spin. I think we're planning on sometime around 4 Eastern on Sunday because of all the festivities that Sunday brings this year, or this specifically this weekend.
Yeah, something that's very close in name to large food dish.
Yeah. Not sure how, I'm not going to stir it up. Anyways, thanks again, Smilefires, for the comms partner, and to 2% Chungus for tracking it behind the scenes for us.
I love American football. I want to say that.
Nice.
I mean,
I have watched the Super Bowl for 30 years, probably. It's been on Swedish television since the 90s, so I'm all in.
I mean, I'm from St. Louis, so I have a reason to not be so thrilled or interested, but that's just me being salty. We won't talk about that. Let's call it a day, and let's see what action is heading our way here tonight. Maybe we'll get some more close finishes. This was definitely a compelling race, and I guess we'll see you there.